Okay friends, welcome again to EZ Engineers Private Limited. This is again Satish Jethwani. Today we will learn about shear design of a beam. What is stirrup, how it will affect the design of a beam. Let us understand the concepts of all these things. Okay. Okay friends, this is a RCC beam. Okay, when there is load, this beam will try to bend like this. Something like this. Okay, that means when there is a load, okay, it will try to bend. Now see what happens to this face. Okay, this face tries to rotate like this. Okay, so this face will try to rotate like this and there will be crack. Like on this side, this will be crack. This is nothing but what we call diagonal crack, shear crack. Now to prevent this, we need some reinforcement which is passing through this crack. Okay, so of course your main reinforcement is not going to help that much. We need the reinforcement which is passing from this. So either like this, that's what you use bent up bar, or like this. Okay, so let us understand this stirrups. What will be the number of stirrups which are cutting this crack? Say this angle is 45 degree. Okay, this is effective depth, so this will also be effective depth. So whatever are the number of stirrups in this crack, in this D distance, those stirrups will be effective in shear design. That means number of stirrups will be, say this D is 500 mm, stirrups spacing is say 100 mm, SV is 100 mm. So that means D divided by SV, 5 stirrups will be useful in carrying the shear force. So number of stirrups will be D by SV. Okay, this formula you may have seen in the codes, in the textbooks. These are the number of stirrups. Multiply by strength of one stirrup. What is that? Let us understand what is this. These are number of stirrups. This is area of one stirrup and this is strength of steel. So area multiplied by stress will be the strength of one stirrup multiplied by numbers. That will be the total strength of the stirrups which will be carrying shear force. What is ASV? Area of one stirrup. So that means if the stirrup is like this, okay, so it's a loop, it's in the loop form. So when there will be a cutting plane, there will be a crack, two legs will be, these two legs will be effective. So area of stirrup ASV is nothing but 2 times pi by 4 multiplied by dia of stirrup. If the stirrup is 3-legged, then this will be 3. If it is 4-legged stirrup, this is called 4-legged. Okay, 2-legged, 3-legged, 4-legged. So number of legs multiplied by 5 by 4 d square. So friends, this will give you, this formula will give you shear resistance of a stirrup. Okay, VUS 0.87 Fy into ASV into d by SV is the number. Okay, maybe interesting to know for you. Friends, you know this crack is at 45 degree. This crack is vertical and slightly this angle is going to be from 0 degree to 45 degree. This angle will be changing from 0 degree to 45 degree. You can even calculate this angle of the crack. How? Say this is an ideal simply supported beam like this, okay, with a UDL. What will be shear force diagram? Like this. What will be bending moment diagram? Like this. So bending moment is maximum at the center, shear force is maximum at the ends. So if I am finding the stress in this particular element at this center, there will be tension at the bottom and no shear stress. So if I take this element at the end, there will be 0 bending moment, so this will be 0 and there will be maximum shear stress. This you have learned in the topic named principal planes and principal stresses, where direct stress and shear stress both are acting. Then there were formulas to find the angle of principal plane. What do you mean by principal plane? Where there are maximum stresses. Exactly at that plane there will be the cracks. So at this particular area, if you put this, there was some formula like 2q by p1 minus p2 tan 2 theta equal to 2q by p1 minus p2. You can check this formula exactly from the textbook. But putting all these values, you will find this. You find the principal plane at 45 degree here, and here you find exactly the vertical. Okay, so that's how this crack develops, and this is how you got the shear resistance of the stirrups.
This is how you learn structural engineering. And this is how we learn structural engineering at EZ. Here, practical applications are given equal value as the number crunching is. The experts who train you here are not only from academic background and won't just be reading out books to you, but they have vast experience through diversified projects and will provide you exposure of actual structure design procedures from the live projects they are working on. EZ has participants from all over India and abroad, which includes not only students but also university professors, government executives and even MNC employees. EZ has conducted training programs for leading multinational companies and universities as well, and holds the highest number of job placements compared to most major institutes you know of. And of course, EZ trainers are more than qualified to do so, making learning at EZ easier. Did you know EZ has courses that no other institutes in India have? Courses like STAAD Pro with advanced structure concepts, advanced steel structures, advanced concrete structures, and more. Lastly, EZ is also the highest rated institute on social media. So, what are you waiting for? Contact us and be ready to change the way you learn.
Okay friends, now we will see how to design the beam for particular shear load. Okay. For example, there is a beam with some main reinforcement, say 3 number 16 dia Tor. This is say 300 by 500 effective depth. Okay, and we need to design this particular beam for a factored shear force of 200 kN. Okay, so first of all we will find what is the shear stress. Tau V, actual shear stress or nominal shear stress, will be equal to Vu by Bd. This will be, my dear friends, total shear stress in the beam. Okay, Vu will be nothing but the total shear force, and B and D will be the dimension 300 and 500 mm. Then you need to find how much shear stress concrete can take. Okay, this is nominal shear strength. This is load to be taken, shear stress to be taken by concrete, tau C. Okay, this you can find from the table with respect to PT from SP 16 or IS 456. Okay, nominal shear strength, concrete shear stress which depends on PT. Which PT? This percentage reinforcement, okay, for the main reinforcement. So depending on this percentage we will get tau C from the code. Then now we need the shear to be taken by stirrups. So friends, this is the total shear strength, this is by concrete, so of course the remaining will be taken by the stirrups. How we can find it? Shear to be taken by concrete is equal to tau C into Bd. Okay, so this stress multiplied by B and D. This is by concrete. Okay, this is by concrete, this is force, this is stress, this is shear force, this is stress. So stress multiplied by area, and this is total, so the remaining will be by stirrups, Vus, that will be equal to Vu minus Vuc. So from this we will get the shear force for which we need to design our stirrups. Okay, shear force taken by concrete, shear force taken by stirrups, and the total shear force. Now we have got the shear force to be taken by stirrups. Now we will use this formula which we derived just now. Okay, here area of the stirrups, for area of the stirrup we will assume some diameter of the stirrups. Okay, 8 mm diameter say. Now how I will find the area of the stirrups? Friends, when this is a stirrup, when we are cutting this, there will be a diagonal crack, it discussed. So these legs will be resisting the diagonal crack. So area of these two legs, that means 2 times pi by 4 d square. This is called two-legged stirrups. This is your ASV. If it is 3-legged stirrup, then we will put 3 multiplied by pi by 4 d square. If it is 4-legged stirrup, then we will put 4 times pi by 4 d square. Okay, so assuming the diameter of stirrups, we will get the ASV, 0.87 Fy we know, and D we know. So SV will be unknown, VUS as we find out here. So we will get the spacing of the stirrups. That's how we will design the stirrups. Okay. Now one more check which is recommended by the code is, in any case this tau v should not be greater than tau c max. Okay. This tau c max, depending on the grade of concrete, is given in the codes SP16 and IS456. You can see that value from the table. So in any case this should not increase. If it is increasing, then you should increase the dimension of the concrete beam. Okay. If it is increasing, if tau v is greater than tau c max, then we cannot increase the stirrups. If it is increasing tau c max, that in that case we need to increase the dimension of the concrete. Thank you very much, my dear friends. Before going to software, you need to learn concepts. What do you mean by the concepts? Say, for example, there is a structure. Okay. Now you want to model this structure instead. Say for example, you have already undergone the training of STED or ETABS or both, or maybe even SEP. But in that training you have learned how to model column, how to model beam, even in RCC or steel or any material. You have learned that. You have also learned how to model bracing. But have you learned in that software where to provide bracing? Have you? Of course not. Because it's not the part of software learning, my dear friends. So if you don't know where to provide this, if you don't know where to provide this plan bracing, if you don't know which type of connection I need to model in the software, then is there any meaning of learning software? And exactly this happens, that 90% of engineers have learned this software, but they have not learned this thing. So this thing can be learned by actually working on the projects. If you are working for many years, say at least 4 or 5 years on the projects in structural design engineering, then only you can learn this. But fortunately, we have one more option to learn these things, and that option is Easy Engineers Private Limited. Here in Easy Engineers Private Limited, we have a practical course of Professional Structure Engineering. This course is about 4 months course. In this 4 months course, we teach you steel structural analysis and design, concepts, softwares, RCC structural analysis and design, what are the types of documents which we need to prepare for the projects, what are the types of drawings, how to study them, how to get input from architect, what inputs will be available, what inputs we need to take from mechanical engineers, what inputs we need to take from electrical engineers, and what output we need to give to the site person. All these things along with connection design, crane girder design, monorail design, rebar detailing, and so many things. All these things which you will otherwise be learning when you will be actually working for so many years in the projects, that we will teach you here. And if we are not able to teach you, if you are not able to understand all these things, then your trainings are free. Simple. Okay? Even if you don't want to undergo for the full 4-month course, you have options for short courses We have courses for even 10 days. We have courses for 20 days. And more, we have almost 4 to 5 courses where we cover all these things. For more details on this, you can log on to www.ezengineers.in or you can call us on 98251 06264. Thank you everybody. Thank you for listening us.